Dear all, I am Socrates. I would like to share with you my wisdom and experience of living as a philosopher in Athens, ancient Greece. You see, while the world has changed a lot in the past 2,500 years, the human experience hasn't changed nearly as much. My philosophy and values can still be important guidelines for modern people's lives even after thousands of years. I would like to give you some advice to help you live a happy and healthy life. Let's begin. One of my most famous sayings is, know yourself. It seems simple, doesn't it? But it's much more than just remembering your name on test day. Understanding yourself is the starting point of all knowledge. In modern society, it is easy to lose your true self under external expectations and pressure. That's why it is so important to explore yourself deeply and discover your values and goals. Knowing yourself can direct your life and find true happiness. You'll stop chasing after things that don't matter to you, and you'll start focusing on the things that do. Self-reflection is necessary. Take time to think about who you are, what you believe, and what you want out of life. Try writing in a journal, meditating, or just taking some time for yourself to think. Be open to feedback from others. It can help you grow as a person. Talk to your friends, your family, and your colleagues. Listen to their answers, even if they're not what you want to hear. I always asked questions. In fact, people used to call me the gadfly of Athens because I was always buzzing around asking people to explain themselves. At first, they didn't like it very much. They weren't used to someone questioning their beliefs. But I knew that asking questions was the only way to get to the truth. You see, I believe that the unexamined life is not worth living. If we don't take the time to question our beliefs, our values, and our place in the universe, then what are we really doing? We're just going through the motions. We're not really living. Modern people can also gain knowledge and gain better understanding through questions. In fact, I think it's more important than ever to ask questions. We live in a world that's constantly changing. New technologies are emerging all the time. The old ways of doing things are being challenged. If we want to keep up, we need to be willing to learn new things. And the best way to learn new things is to ask questions. Questioning is a courageous act of acknowledging ignorance, which opens the way to wisdom. It's okay to not know something. In fact, it's the only way to learn. When we admit that we don't know something, we open ourselves up to new possibilities. We start to see the world in a new light. Asking questions is the first step toward solving a problem. Chapter 3. Finding Truth in Dialogue. Now, when I say dialogue, I'm not just talking about any old conversation. I'm talking about a very specific type of conversation, one that's based on reason, logic, and respect for the other person's point of view. It's not about trying to win an argument, it's about trying to find the truth. I explored the truth by having conversations through dialectical methods. That means that we would go back and forth, presenting arguments and counter-arguments until we arrived at a deeper understanding of the issue at hand. It is important to review your thoughts and understand various perspectives through conversations with others. When we talk to people who have different opinions than our own, it challenges us to think critically about our own beliefs. It helps us to see the world from a different perspective. In modern society, there are many opportunities to communicate with various people through technologies such as social media. These platforms can be a double-edged sword. On the one hand, they can be used to spread misinformation and hatred. But on the other hand, they can be used to connect with people from all over the world and to engage in meaningful dialogue. Use these tools to have constructive conversations, respect each other's thoughts, and find the truth. When you're engaging in dialogue online, it's important to remember that you're talking to real people with their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences. Treat them the way you would want to be treated. Listen to what they have to say, even if you don't agree with it. Chapter 4. A Life of Virtue. Now, when I talk about virtue, I'm not talking about being a goody two-shoes. I'm talking about living a life that's in accordance with your values. A life that's characterized by courage, justice, wisdom, and temperance. I regarded virtue as the highest value. It's about being the best version of yourself that you can be. Virtue means proper behavior and moral values. It's about doing the right thing even when it's hard. It's about standing up for what you believe in, even when it's unpopular. It's about being honest, even when it would be easier to lie. In modern society, there is a tendency to seek material success and pleasure. But true happiness comes from the practice of virtue. We're constantly bombarded with messages that tell us that we need to be richer, thinner, more popular, more successful. But I believe that true happiness comes from within. It comes from living a life that's in accordance with our values. Practice virtues, such as justice, courage, temperance, and wisdom in your life. These virtues are the foundation of a good life. They're the things that will make you a better person, a better friend, a better citizen. It will make your life more prosperous and meaningful. When you live a life of virtue, you're not just living for yourself. You're living for something bigger than yourself. Chapter 5. Knowledge is a virtue. Now, when I say knowledge, I'm not just talking about facts and figures. I'm talking about understanding. It's about seeing the world clearly and making sense of it. I believe that knowledge is a virtue. It's about using our minds to their fullest potential. Ignorance is the root of evil, and through knowledge we can live a good life. When we're ignorant, we're easily misled. We're more likely to make bad decisions. We're more likely to hurt ourselves and others. But when we're knowledgeable, we're empowered. We're able to make better choices. We're able to live better lives. In modern society, there are many opportunities to access a variety of knowledge. We have libraries, museums, universities, and the internet. We have access to more information than at any other time in human history. Constantly build up knowledge through reading, learning, and experiences. Don't just sit there passively consuming information. Be an active learner. Seek out new knowledge. Outro wisdom from across the millennia. Dear all, I hope these 5 tips I shared will be of little help in your life. I know that the world is a much different place than it was when I was wandering the streets of Athens. But I believe that the principles I lived by are just as relevant today as they were then. Know yourself, don't be afraid to ask questions, explore the truth through dialogue, pursue virtue, and build knowledge. These efforts will greatly help you live a truly happy and healthy life. These are the things that will make you a better person, a better friend, a better citizen of the world. I believe that my wisdom and experience in ancient Athens are still valid today. I sincerely hope that you will lead a richer and more meaningful life based on this advice. Your friend, Socrates.